In Season 3, Episode 2 of Invincible, Mark and Cecil come into a bit of an altercation. And by the end of it, you might agree with Mark, you might agree with Cecil, or like me, you might agree and disagree with both of them. For context, this is the episode where Doc Seismic kidnaps every superhero in America somehow, and it's up to Mark and Eve to save them. They fail and they end up getting captured. So it's up to Cecil to basically pull a last resort. He sends in Reanimin, I don't know how to say their names, the zombie cyborgs, and the new Darkwing. Cecil ends up saving the world doing this, but Mark is very understandably pissed off. Mark confronts Cecil, asking him why he would hire murderers. Dr. Sinclair experimented on people and turned them into cyborg monsters. And Darkwing went insane and started killing criminals nonstop like an evil Batman, basically. Mark put both of these people in prison, so why are they working for the government now? Why did Cecil give them jobs? Cecil walks Mark into the White Room and just explains how they are very useful. They're exceptional people with big brains and skills. It would be a shame for them to go to waste rotting in a prison cell when they could atone for their sins and use their skills for the betterment of the world under his control. Mark isn't a fan of that because he wants them to be punished, not seeing the fact that they did just actually save the world and him from dying. But Cecil also kind of gaslights him. He surrounds him with Reanimin for his protection, which kind of feels like it ends up making Mark more violent. Cecil ends up making it worse by pulling out his trump card versus Invincible, which is the lobster sound from season 2. That specific frequency that screws with the Invincible's equilibrium in his brain, causing an extremely painful sound deep within his inner ear. And Cecil reveals that he has an implant there that he cannot rip out. Mark ends up bringing this fight to the Guardians of the Globe, where they help him get rid of the Reanimin as well as the earpiece. And by the end of it, Mark has Cecil by the neck, choking the life out of him, saying, "I am not going to work for you again. We are done. If you come near my family ever again, I will kill you." This ends up splitting up the Guardians of the Globe because, like the viewer, they are split between who is right. They can see the fact that Cecil betrayed Invincible, but also can kind of see where Cecil's coming from, because Mark is the most powerful superhero on the planet, as well as the son of Omni-Man, and there should be contingency plans against him, as well as using the villains they have to actually protect society as well, like with Dr. Sinclair and with Darkwing. So I'm gonna kind of go through Mark's side as well as Cecil's side, break both of them down, and we'll try to come to a conclusion on who's right, but I have a good feeling we're not gonna find an actual real answer, because Invincible deals with this very well with gray morality. These problems aren't as simple as they seem. It's not really a black and white issue most of the time, but I'm still gonna try and break it down because I think I do have someone I agree with more. So Mark, prior to this event, just botched asking out Eve. He's struggling to juggle normal life with hero life. He's raising a little brother who's aging rapidly and just found out that he has powers, and he almost died to Dr. Seismic of all people. So him finding out that Cecil betrayed him twice, with both hiring Dr. Sinclair and Darkwing as well as putting the earpiece in his inner ear to just basically put him on a leash, set him off the tipping point, and thinking rationally was clearly not gonna happen. So from Mark's perspective, he is a true hero, not a government pawn. He sees Cecil's methods as immoral and manipulative. Cecil's use of secret projects cross an ethical line that Mark cannot let go, and he refuses to compromise his morals even if it costs him. Mark's flaws in this situation is that he's emotionally driven and impulsive. Cecil even points this out during their fight. Him refusing to work with Cecil ends up leaving Earth more vulnerable than it was before, and he seems to underestimate how much Cecil actually goes through and does to protect the planet. Because even though what he's doing is wrong in a lot of cases, Cecil's end goal is still the same as Mark's, to protect Earth at all costs. His idealism blinds him to the necessity of tough decisions. Cecil's kind of in the right because he's pragmatic and understands the bigger picture. His actions do seem very cold, but they're about survival. And he operates in a gray area that Mark refuses to do because they're really tough choices and would be the antithesis to impulse. Cecil's in the wrong, however, because he's treating Mark like a tool, as well as pretty much every other superhero. The secrets and manipulation drive the people who he should want to trust him back away and make him look like a villain at just as much as anyone else. And his authoritarian approach makes him very hard to sympathize with. In the end, neither of them are really right or wrong. This is a very nuanced conflict. This fight isn't about who wins. It's a clash between idealism and pragmatism. I can't say words, please help me. I know what it means, I just can't say it. I've done so many takes. Oh my god. Like, would you rather be a hero who always does the right thing, or a leader who does whatever it takes to keep the world safe? If you were to ask me, I would lean more on the side of Cecil. To be honest, if I was in Cecil's position, I would have tried explaining it a little bit less angry. Cecil kind of jumps the gun a little too fast with the reanimant and the fail-safe dead man switch on the beeping thing in his ear. None of that was gonna get Mark to calm down if he was so scared of him. He knows Mark is a good person. That's why even while he's doing this, he's like, I do trust you, but you're still scaring the crap out of me right now. If he were to just explain to Mark that yes, Dr. Sinclair, very bad person, he's basically a government slave now. Yes, he's building these robots for us, but that's all he's allowed to do. He's basically a minion. He's still in prison, he's just being put to work. Whereas Darkwing, yes, he killed people, but they were criminals. He cracked under the pressure in a very screwed up city, and he's been rehabilitated. Still clearly a hero. So why wouldn't he give him a second chance? Just use the event that just happened as evidence as to why he's in the right, but in a calm, more relaxed manner, because the way Cecil said it was very abrupt and authoritarian. Mark wasn't gonna listen to that. Mark's also correct though. I don't think he's entirely in the wrong either, as I've said before. Those people are criminals who killed people. While I disagree with Darkwing being like a person who should forever be in prison, he was still clearly a hero and he did only really kill like criminals. Dr. Sinclair was a monster, and if Mark had blown his head off by punching him as hard as he could instead of just breaking his jaw, I would have not batted an eye. He would have gotten exactly what he deserves, and Mark would have not been in the wrong any way, shape, or form there. I also disagree with what's-his-face. Is his name Rob? The gay friend's boyfriend. He's like, oh man, you know, if you killed Sinclair there, you would have been no better than him. That is absolute bullshit. Why would you say that? Mark was being attacked and put on the back foot versus the robots. So this was self-defense already. You and your friend are literally dying to this guy. You have been taken apart, already turned into a cyborg. This dude is threatening all of your lives and has killed countless people before. So if Mark, instead of incapacitating him, just flat out killed him, blitzed him and blew his head off, or like just turned him into paste in the sewer, he would have been completely justified in doing so. But that's my take on the situation. I may have rambled a little bit too far there. I typically do that. If you enjoyed this, please check out my other two videos I just posted. I have a bunch of gaming videos too, but like I've been doing more video essay type things. And yeah, like and subscribe for more, because I'm trying out new stuff every day, baby. Oh man.